Lights, camera, action! Let's start the show. Here's a little bit of advice for me to help your love story unfold. This is your wedding series, and we are now in season 2. This is going to be episode 3, and we are going to be planning your wedding. That's what we're doing, and telling your love story. Now, remember, this wedding planning is a lot different from most because our couples are dating for marriage the right way. Now, I know that the world will tell you something completely opposite of what we've been discussing over here. And there's plenty of videos out there for you for those that are looking for that way of doing your marriage and wedding. But for those of the small, tiny percentage of us out there that want to date for marriage, this is the right video for you. You found the right podcast. Okay. So we are here dating for marriage. We're planning and preparing for marriage, and we are planning and preparing for the wedding before he even proposes. So we started all the way at age 14 years old, and we fast forward into the time you are engaged. And that's where we are right now. We're in your engagement era, and we're talking all about what that looks like. Okay. So let's just jump right into the episode. Like I said, this is season 2, and this is episode 3 of Your Wedding Series podcast. If you are looking for season 1, be sure to check the playlist because it'll help you with being able to navigate around the episodes in there. And they are so juicy because this is like when you're like 14 years old, all the way through like high school and college years and all that good stuff, and advice and tips that I gave on how you can start planning for your wedding, even at that age. Okay. And most people start planning, like I said, when they're engaged, and it's like, well, where is all this money going to come from? How are we going to figure this out? I don't know how to be a wife. I don't know how to be a husband. Where you should have had all that stuff going on before. But we're not talking about that today. That was all in season 1. We're talking about season 2 right now, where we are going to be in episode 3 and we are going shopping. Ah! Who doesn't like shopping? Now, groom to be, you're welcome to come shopping with us, but you don't have to come shopping with us. I know that the ladies get very, very excited for shopping. Oh my goodness. Even if it is for wedding things. So it's not really like the stuff you're going to be wearing. That's not what we're talking about today for shopping, but you guys know, hint hint, that is coming later on down the road. Dress shopping, but that's not today. There's going to be lots of advice and tips on that later, but today we are talking about some more organization shopping. Okay, so this is going to be our pretty much our very first organization shopping trip, but one of the items in here I did mention during the proposal era, when you had just gotten the proposal, I did talk about like your engagement photos and making sure that this went into this particular item. So we'll talk about that item as we are in our episode. But for now, let's see what item is number 1 that I would like for you to shop for. All right. So remember we talked about in our last episode making a logo. So making a logo for you as a couple. So it could be either just like your initials, if you wanted to do something with your full first names, that's fine. But most people just do their initials. We use the example Patricia and Tim for examples, P plus T, and then playing with different fonts on how you want it, your logo to look. Okay. If you need some ideas, feel free to do a little bit of research online. It comes up right away. Couples, wedding logos. And so there is so many of the ideas out there if you don't understand any of that. So you know how like when you create your resume, you open up a blank document and you just go in and you start typing. That's what you're going to do for this logo. It's literally going to be 3 letters on a page. or two letters on a page plus the little like plus sign, right? So, or and, you could put and, you don't have to put the plus sign, you could put and. So you could put like P and T or P plus T. So you're going to go in, you're going to create your little document, and then you're going to play around with fonts. There's even something called word art if you are using the Google Docs. And no, this isn't sponsored. I just mentioned Google Docs. But you can go into them and you can play around with the word art feature, and you can decide on different letters that you think fits you guys' personality. Now, don't go copying everybody else. If you're not like the cursive girly and boy, don't go picking that. Pick just a block letters if that's what fits y'all's aesthetic. Okay. You don't need to like be something different just because you're getting married. So I don't know why people do that. So what I mentioned the logo today, what are we buying? We're buying a sticker. We're buying stickers for your logo. So if you watch some of my DIYs, I turn printouts that I make into stickers. So I'm able to create my own stickers using DIY methods. And we're actually going to be doing an entire series on who knows when, because right now we're planning a wedding, right? We have this wedding series to plan, or that we're doing. Like, so it involves planning your wedding. And so, but there is a series coming soon where we're going to do everything that you could DIY for your wedding. Everything. So, starting from the proposal all the way to the wedding reception. If you wanted to like do it yourself, do your whole wedding yourself, you are going to love that series. You're going to love that series a lot. Okay. A latte. So, yeah, it'll be everything about that. And so, like I said, I now make my own little logos for everything just using my printer and some other amazing tools that I'll talk about later. So, yeah, so you're going to go out and you're going to buy some stickers. And if you're not getting married like this year, right now, when you're watching this playlist, then you can hang around and wait until I do that series and follow along with me on how to make your own logo stickers. Okay. The next thing that you're going to buy is, and this is also for your logo, you're going to buy a stamp for your logo. So if you don't want to do like the cool little stamps on your stationery or on your envelopes before you send them out, there's a technique that you can use in order to keep them on there so that they don't fall off. But if you don't want to do that, then you don't need to buy this. You can like skip this purchase. You don't need to go out and buy a stamp. But they are amazing for those of us who do love that kind of craft, and we're kind of like the little craft girlies and boys out there. Then you can go ahead today and purchase your stamp. So all they're going to do is just take the logo. You're going to send them that little document that you made of the logo, and you're going to get a stamp made of that. Okay. And it's even better if you had like that monogram, that family crest that we had talked about, where it's like the Johnsons or whatever your last names are. And then you put that as a stamp. Okay. So that's another thing that you can use in stationery and all kinds of stuff. So we're going to talk about more ways to use like your stamps and stickers as we go along in this episode. Now, this is the purchase that you may have already made because you were working on those engagement photos that I talked about. So the engagement photo shoot or the engagement party that you may have already had, also from the proposal. A lot of times people might skip getting like some screenshots or some photos from the proposal itself. It's easy to miss. You're excited. You're ready to move on to getting that venue booked. Slow down. We're not there yet. Don't go running out booking that venue just yet. Okay. Mistakes could be made. So slow down. Don't go running out. Oh, we're engaged. And then all of a sudden you go book a venue and you have buyer's remorse because you don't realize the things that didn't come with that venue because you didn't ask the right questions. So right now we're just focusing on getting our organization tools together so that we can stay organized throughout. All right. So yeah, so you're going to have this photo album that you're going to use for everything. We've already put in our proposal photos. We've already put in our engagement photo shoot photos. We've already put in our engagement party photos. Okay. If you haven't had the engagement party or the engagement photo shoot at this point of the video, it's okay. Like whenever you get to it, your timeline that you're doing it. Okay. You're going to add those things into that photo album. You're just building memories along the way rather than here's our wedding album and like nothing came before that. You've got nothing to show for any of those wedding series of events. Why are we doing this? Because this is how you're telling your love story, okay? This is how you're sharing with the world your love story as well as having keepsakes for yourself, okay? You're having these amazing keepsakes for yourself and generations to come. I think that it's really beautiful when people can look at a handheld like photo album, like a tangible photo album over looking at just digital because like maybe one day when you're not here anymore, nobody can get into that digital album. Maybe they can't get into it because like it was password protected or something. So I say get yourself a photo album. This is one of the purchases that you're making today. And it can be as nice as you want it to be. You are going to do your aesthetic, like do something that fits your personality, your theme, and stuff like that when it comes to the photo album. Now, if you buy a plain photo album, that's totally fine. Like it's okay. Like you want to keep it plain, keep it plain. But if you're an arts and crafts person, take this time that as soon as you get that photo album, don't wait. Don't wait because the wedding is going to come. You're going to look back and be like, man, I still never finished that photo album. Trust me, it happens to all of us. So that's why I'm giving this advice. Go ahead and start like doing like all the little crafts of that album. What's some good ideas on how to craft this photo album? The one that I love most, and it's so pretty, I actually have one. It's where the photo album has a cushion about that thick on it. Okay. So it's got a cushion glued to the outer cover. Okay. So it's got a cushion. And then on top of the cushion, it's got like satin on it. Okay. So it's got a piece of satin fabric that's also just been glued right on top, in the corners and on the like side, you just glue the fabric right there on the top. And then of course on like the binding area where you like open and close it and stuff. And then it doesn't stop there. It doesn't stop there. It's got the lace trim around the album. Okay. So around where you put all the cushion and stuff, and then pearls. So as you guys know, I am a very, very much a girly girl. So of course, lace, satin, and pearls are like my thing. But it may not be yours. So if it's not yours, don't do that. Do a different aesthetic that fits you. Okay. Something that fits you. You can also put a picture on the front and constantly change this picture around during the wedding series. Okay. So you can go and you can change it out. Maybe it starts with the proposal picture in the front, and then when you get the engagement photos back, you put the engagement photo in there, and then so on and so forth. Okay, there's lots of wedding series of events that are going to happen that you're going to be putting in there. We know about bridesmaids proposal brunch that's coming up, wedding shopping day. You may want to put a little snippet of you guys as a group who all went. Take those group photos. Don't forget to take those group photos. Hopefully at the engagement party, you took a group photo. If anybody was at your proposal, take a group photo. Like I said, bridesmaids proposal brunch, take a group photo. Everywhere you go. And why am I mentioning the group photo? Because as your content creator, this is what I do. I do pictures and videos. I want to make sure that even if you don't hire me to be at your wedding series of events, I still want to help you to make sure that you are doing these things. Okay. Like these are my tips and tricks and advice to help you to build up your wedding story so that it is unique to you and that you aren't leaving these things out. I'm not sure why everybody forgets to take a group photo all the time. Group photos are amazing. And I've always been the one in like my friend group or my work group or organization group that always remembers the group photo. I remember when I was performing as a dancer with the Las Vegas Gladiators, and I was a goddess. I was one of the cheerleaders on the team. And every performance, I made sure that we got a group picture, every single one of them. And when we had autograph signings, I did the same thing. I made sure that we all got together. Let's take a group picture. And like, yes, it could be like kind of annoying to everybody else. It's like, wow, she like always wants to take this stupid group picture. But then you go back and look on it, and now you have these group photos that like you have this memory at every single milestone of your wedding series. Okay. So don't forget to do that. Rehearsal dinner, take a group picture. You'll have a lot of individual shots of you going down to each table and all that stuff, right? But group pictures, group pictures. Also, take a group picture at the wedding reception. We did that. Some people had already had left, and so it's not every single person. This is my biggest tip for you. If you forget to take a group picture, as soon as that person, that you know how they are, they come, they show up for just the food, and then they're like, oh, like, okay, well, we gotta go. And like, why even waste their time to come? I don't know. But they'll come out for a little bit and then they'll leave. As soon as that person says that they have to leave, that's your cue to get everybody together and take a group picture. So if you forget, and you see that person that's like, hey, you know what? Thank you for inviting us. Love you guys. We got to go. Sweet. Okay, everybody get together. We're going to take a group photo. That's what you're going to do. You're going to announce group photo like right now. Everybody get yourself together. Get your lip gloss on. Check your hair. All the things you need to do. And everybody get together because we're going to get a group photo right now. Okay. So, and then what you're going to do is you're going to make sure that these things don't just sit on your phone. You're going to go print them out that night. Go edit and print them out that night. Now, if you don't want to do any of the pictures or the videos at all your wedding series of events because you're like, I'm not good at that, I'm going to forget, I want to just enjoy my moments, perfect. Hire me to do it. Okay. I'm your content creator. This is what I do. I can even live stream your event for anybody who can't come out to some part of your wedding series of events. Okay. So that's our photo album portion. So make sure you purchase that. You understand the reason why it's so important. Now, the next thing is your budget binder. You guys have heard me talk about the budget binder. This is another one that you may have already purchased. You may have already bought this one because we've been talking about, all right, every episode, budget binder talk. And then we talk about who pays for this. And then we put down the dollar amount of what it was. So what the item is, who paid for it, and how much, right? 3 things: the item, who paid for it, how much. Now, your budget binder, if you want, you can keep it digitally. You don't have to go out and purchase like a separate budget binder. You don't have to. You could also put a tab in the notebook. So we are going to have a notebook that you're going to purchase. Like I said, this is just advice. You don't have to purchase any of this stuff, but a notebook. So the notebook is going to be everything. It's going to be everything. It's going to be all the phone numbers, all the vendors, the venues that you're using, everything to keep you organized when it comes to this wedding. It's going to be the theme, the colors, the setting, the date. Everything is going to go into this notebook, literally everything. So make sure that you get the notebook because you're going to hear me talk about it throughout our wedding series so that I help to keep you organized, because you're probably going to forget after this video, oh, I should have put that in the notebook. I need to be putting this stuff in the notebook. The notebook is key because you're also going to bring it with you at all of your meetings, all of your vendor meetings, because I'm going to be giving you tips on questions to ask during the vendor meetings. So make sure that you have your notebook. Your notebook is also going to keep track of your to-dos, okay? Your task board list. So you're going to have that. We talked about in our last episode, the physical board. That's a task board that says starting now, in progress, and complete. you can also keep this like this kind of like tallying in your notebook. You don't have to, but because you'll have that notebook with you all the time, it'll give you like that visual of like, okay, this is what I need, this is what I need to do, this is where I'm at, da, da, da. And then whenever you meet a new vendor, you can add that onto start now or in progress or complete, whatever, right? So you don't have to put the task board portion in the notebook as a tab, but it could help you. It could help you if you are a visual person. You just got visuals everywhere. You got visuals for the board, you got visuals in the notebook, okay? It's kind of like notebook's always with you. The board is right there when you wake up. You get to see it. All right, this is what I need to do today and keep it going. Keep it going. All right, so the budget binder could be part of the notebook as a tab. You could just have it in there as a tab, and that's what I did. I had it in there as like a section of my actual notebook, okay? The next thing that I suggest that you buy is that vision board. Now, we talked about the vision board. We talked about yesterday that you should have a vision board, but I'm suggesting that you actually purchase a mock-up mood board is what I called mine, a mock-up mood board or vision board. So go ahead and get that purchased. You want something visual. And guys, don't go crazy. You can look around your house because you may already have this item and literally take out a piece of cardboard and get crafty. You can take out your paint pens and your markers. You could print stuff out on your printer from your computer, and you can just put on there, mock-up mood board, or you can put on there vision board, wedding vision board, and then start collecting as you go. You can put it right there on that board, and then when you're done, you're gonna have this really, really cool keepsake of everything for your wedding. Now, what was the first thing that I said to put on your mock-up vision board? It was your venue for your wedding venue photo. Get that thing printed out and get some visuals up, of what it's looking like at that venue and some inspiration of like what you want your theme to be. Okay, just get those wheels turning at this point. So what's next on our shopping list? Okay, the next thing on our shopping list is a task board. You guys knew it was coming. We did discuss the task board yesterday. You can do it digitally, but I feel like when people do a lot of this digital stuff, it doesn't always register in here when you need to like keep things organized and, going. So you kind of forget about it. The days get going and it's like you have work, you've got school, you've got family, you got a lot of things happening. And so you just kind of forget about all this digital stuff. So that's why I said try to get like a physical board if you can. So that's our next purchase. All right, so everyone knows we talk about this in every episode. We are now at the budget binder. Oh, yay! So we're talking about our budget binder. Who pays for this? So who's paying for all of these items that I just mentioned today? Okay, so all the items that I mentioned today, let's go over them really quickly. Stickers for your logo. It's going to be your stamp for your logo. It's going to be your photo album. It's going to be your budget binder. It's going to be your notebook, vision board, and task board. Okay. Now, all of these small purchases, some things you may already have around the house. You may already have a notebook around the house. You don't need to put a dollar amount on that. You don't even need to put it in there as something that you bought because you didn't buy it. So only the things that you go out and purchase or have to purchase online, like you probably don't have a stamp of your logo if you're going to actually use my advice and get that. You probably don't have that. Speaking of, you guys, I forgot to mention, if you do get like a stamp or stickers, this is so cool because you can use it on so much stuff, including the notebook. So in the notebook, you can be like stamping in your notebook, all right, time to move on to the next month. Okay, I finished up. Time to move on to the next month. So it's kind of a cool little inspiration to be like, I got to get that stamp this month. I got to get that stamp this week. I got to get these things checked off. And then you're like just stamping it as you are completing things. Okay. So, yeah, so that's another really, really good one that you can use it for. And then, of course, the same thing with the stickers. You can use the stickers all over your notebook, all over your photo album. It's just fun, you guys. It's just fun, especially if you get both. If you get the logo and you get like the monogram family crest, you got this. You got this, right? Okay. So much fun. All right. And it also like helps that like as you're doing all this, it's like, okay, this is now fun because crafting is fun. You remember being in school in kindergarten and you got to color and you got to create different things and make different things like the macaroni, like tin can and stuff like that, where you put like the little macaronis around the tin can on the outside just for funsies. It wasn't really that cute, but it was just something that your teacher thought of to do to help you to learn how to make stuff and use your hands. And so that's why this is really cool little inspo for like you actually wanting to open up like your photo album because it's so well crafted and it fits y'all's aesthetic. And then you're like, okay, I'm going to add this picture. I'm going to add this picture. I'm going to add this picture. So yeah, all right, right. All right, let's see what's next. So, yeah, so that's what's going in the budget binder for this episode specifically. And then you're going to put down the dollar amounts of whatever each of those things were. All right. So, what's your shopping story? Are you excited about going shopping? Do you think that this is like already overwhelming? Do you think that this is like too much already? Or are you just excited? Are you fun? Are you fun? Are you having fun with it? Did you like my suggestions of what I had? Are these things you already bought or things you already have? Or are you the type of bride that's like, you're already on it? Like, this is like, you already knew all about all these things and you want to add something else. Maybe there's something in the beginning that you bought that helped you to stay organized, something tangible that you went out and bought, or something around your house that helped you to stay organized. Obviously, one that I didn't have on here that I think everyone just should kind of self-explanatory is a calendar. So if you can get a big calendar and be able to have it somewhere you can every day you can see it and you can see the months and the dates going by. You can add little tiny things to it if you want to, like each week of a to-do thing that you need to like make sure that you're getting done, like venue shopping or dress shopping. You want to add like certain dates on there, like for the rehearsal dinner, the rehearsal wedding shower. If you want to add like all of your events to that calendar, let me add that here for shopping for you to go out and make sure that you get a calendar so you can add in all of your wedding series dates. So yeah, so that's a good one. Wedding series event dates. Super. Okay, so yeah, so you want to go ahead and you want to get all of that as well. So you can get a calendar. Now, like I said, if there's something that you purchased that you're like, oh my gosh, she didn't mention this and this really helped me, I would love to hear it. Send me an email and I would love to chat about it with you. Also, if you are comfortable and any of those questions that I just went over, how you're feeling, how you're doing with shopping, are you excited? Is this too much already? All those questions they just asked. If you are a bride to be or groom to be, or you've been a bride to be or groom to be, like you remember this process right here, the shopping, the beginning shopping stuff. Okay. Did you forget stuff? Like I forgot to put that in there. Did you forget? And then like along the way, you're like, oh my gosh, I wish I had that. I wish I would have did that. This would have really helped me. Send me an email, because if you want to be here on the platform and share like your story about the shopping process, we would love to hear it. We would love to hear it. You could just, hang out and talk with me if you want. We don't have to do like recording of the video and share it with the public, but we can if you want. If you're like, no, I need to help some other people, this was a lot and like this is what got me through it or whatever it might be, then yes, Let's do it. Let's make a video together. Let's share it with others. Okay. So we'll do like a split screen video and I'll share it here on the platform. All right. And then people who are listening by podcast, they'll also get to hear it. You can do so at yourcontentcreator@yahoo.com. And guess what, you guys? That's the end of our episode already. Oh my gosh. I'm going to see you, lovebirds, in the next episode. Bye, lovebirds.